G'day, hobbyists, and welcome back to The Hobby, the podcast where we explore all things related to hobbies and passions, from trading cards, pop culture, and everything in between. As always, I'm your host, Dean Allsop, and joined by my right arm man, the Kearns.
Am I like a piece of Exodia or something?
Right up. Speaking of, you pulled an Exodia the other night, actually, didn't you?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll leave that in there. My right arm man, the Colonel. How are you, brother?
I'm good, Dino. What's happening? What's happening, hobbyists? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the Hobby Podcast. We're back.
That's a good shout. We don't actually ever say that.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching so many podcasts, and it's like the first thing they always say.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. You know,
it's pretty easy to. I mean, I did that on all the other YouTube channels I watch. I like to like and comment and subscribe. I got things to say. I want to be heard.
Yeah, for sure. It helps.
So
it helps us out. It helps us out. But yes, I pulled the left arm and the right leg of Exodia.
So I should have said my left arm.
Yeah.
My left arm man. My right arm man. That was a bit of fun, man, opening up some Yu-Gi-Oh! 25th anniversary, eh?
Yeah, it's cool, man. The 5 different sets, and you're pulling Toon Worlds and Dark Magicians, and we didn't get the full Exodia, but it was really fun.
You're rarely going to pull a full Exodia from one box, right?
Yeah.
Like
the chat was going crazy though, man. Like every card that was coming out was like, this is so nostalgic. I haven't seen these in years. And the remake, they did exactly, it was the same print as like, you know, back in the day first run. So it was just really cool opening.
That's over on our Whatnot channel, Luna_cards. So go give us a follow. We do some pretty crazy stuff over there. Sold a moonbreon the other night, started at $1. That was wild.
Oh, that's ballsy.
Yeah, that's some big cojones.
Yeah. You had some sealed packs up there as well.
We did some EX Power Keeper packs, did some jungle heavy packs, you know, did a bunch of different stuff. It was good fun.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
It was a good stream to watch, not gonna lie.
I'll tell you what's not good to watch at the moment. That's the NFL, brother.
Condolences to you and the Steelers Nation out there.
At least we made the playoffs.
I'd rather not make it and then lose first round.
You know the problem is we can never get rid of Tomlin because he always gets us to the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
And then we lose the first round. And it's really time to move Tomlin on, I think.
He's like the coolest guy in the world, though. It's like, why would you want to move someone on like that?
Because we can't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. You know what makes it worse, too, is you lost to your division rivals, Baltimore. So
we beat them. We rubbed them up real good during the year, too. Yeah. So it was annoying to have lost that game. I think we made a misstep starting Wilson instead of Fields. I probably would have had Fields as the starter QB.
Right. Okay.
Just when you look at the stats over the year, Jay Fields was really good at the start of the year.
Yeah.
And Rusty was really good when he first came back in, but then really slipped in those last 5 games.
Yeah.
And I understand, you know, Rusty's got a good history, but, you know, you got to lean into the young guys as well. And I just reckon Justin probably could have stood up.
Yeah.
And it might have yielded a different result, but it's hindsight, right? Like you can always say this and that would have worked, but, you know, you never know.
Yeah, on the other side of the field, you've got dual MVP Lamar Jackson, who just added Derrick Henry, who's one of the best running backs in the league. Yeah. And like he put up 180 yards, I think. Bro. But you're right. Like Wilson, great game manager, but against Baltimore, you needed game winners. And maybe Fields could have done that. But we've got, we're going into the AFC and NFC championship games this week.
Yep. So by the time this airs, those results would have already have come up,
and we're into the Super Bowl.
We'll be looking forward at the Super Bowl. So let's get predictions.
Bills versus Chiefs in the AFC. Who's winning?
I want the Bills to win.
I think everyone does.
I think the Chiefs will win. I think it's going to be a Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl again.
Oh, that'd be the worst.
I know.
I'd hate that.
I'm going to hate it too. I think that's what it's going to be. But in an ideal world, I want it to be Bills Commanders because Commanders suck and nobody cares about the Commanders, which means the Bills will win.
Yeah.
And I love Allen. Joshy's weapon.
Man, watching Josh Allen play, he lost all of his pieces over the last few years.
Yeah.
And he's still getting them there. He's so fun to watch.
I almost want like a dope Josh Allen card.
Yeah.
Somehow. Just because.
Well, you could probably buy a dope Josh Allen card because, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but we get to Golden Auction a little later on and there's a nice Josh Allen card that just sold. So maybe it's the time to do it. But
all right, well, no, that is the time to do it. Let's jump straight into the news.
Dino, Golden Auction. I've got a bit of variety this week.
I like variety.
It's the start of the year 2025. What's hot? What's going on?
It's going to be a big year across the hobby.
Absolutely. We spoke about we're in the middle of a bull market at the moment.
I think we're still at the start of a bull market.
You reckon we're at the start?
I don't know, man. Like everything at the moment keeps ticking up. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm looking at $23,180. A BGS 8.5 2008-19 Panini National Treasures Logo Man autograph, Shaquille O'Neal, 1 of 1.
I mean, to be fair, it's Shaq playing at the Suns, so it's like the worst Shaq that you could get. Like, you know, like, do people even remember that Shaq played for Phoenix?
Yeah, no.
He must have been there for like a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah, you only remember Shaq at the Lakers and at the Heat.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, and Orlando.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
I'd say Shaq is more known for Magic and Lakers than Heat and Suns.
He's probably more known as a DJ too.
Yeah, Diesel,
DJ
the
Diesel.
Big D's.
But I mean, it's a 1 of 1, most dominant, one of the most dominant.
And it is
centers.
a Logo Man. Logo Mans are attractive cards.
It's an absolute gorgeous card.
Again, though, let's talk about this because it's a 1 of 1, and I got an 8.5. I'm curious to know if it was just authenticated or raw. Would it do more or would it do less? Yeah. Because again, we talk about it all the time. People grading these 1 of 1s, like the idea of it being a 1 of 1 and now being an 8.5. It's not a pristine 1 of 1.
Yep.
So it's always interesting when people grade those.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I've got $13,115. We've got a Panini National Treasures rookie NFL signature trios. Tag brand logo, Josh Allen, 1 of 1. It's a Beckett 9. Ask it, you shall receive.
Ask it, you shall receive. I'm looking at the card now, man. It looks unreal.
Yeah. So
was that 13,000?
13,000
US?
USD. So 20,000 Australian.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe not the kind of Josh Allen card I'm going to buy for myself, brother.
Well, I tell you what, if they win the Super Bowl in a few weeks' time, that card almost doubles, I reckon.
That is a speculation hot topic, I guess. So that card has been sold now and purchased probably by the buyer with the idea that if he becomes a Super Bowl QB this year, that card would double.
Yep.
And if he doesn't, well, you just got to kind of hold and wait till next year, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
Sort of see what happens.
His career is going to break so many records. He's going to be the franchise guy for so long.
Yeah,
so
man.
Without a Super Bowl, but yeah, if he gets Super Bowl, instant double money, I honestly believe.
Yep.
Right, we've got for $3,050, you can get a 2024 Topps Chrome Marvel Spider-Man. It's a PSA 10 only pop 2. It's numbered 12 of 15.
That is Topps Chrome Sapphire as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not Chrome, it's Topps Sapphire.
Well,
which is like for those, you will see the picture anyway, but it's the cracked ice version that Topps do.
Yeah.
As opposed to just the full Chrome version. I'm actually surprised. That feels a little light on.
Maybe
for Spider-Man.
Maybe because the set just dropped this like last year.
Yeah.
You know, it hasn't had time to
Needs
mature.
a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But beautiful card though.
The purple background looks unreal.
I'm a big fan of Sapphire. It was disappointing that after how great of a product the metazoo Topps Chrome was, and they were talking about before they went bust, about doing Topps Sapphire, which would have been sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, maybe one day.
I've got, if you told me in 2024 that 8 packets of EV Heroes, loose EV Heroes, this is the Evolving Skies equivalent in the Japanese, sold for $336 US.
That's so dumb.
530 Australian dollars.
Wait a minute. You can buy a booster box of EV Heroes here in Australia for about $530. I saw one on Facebook last night for $550.
8 packs at Goldin auction sold for $336.
Maybe we should start sending more stuff to Goldin.
I think so. That's crazy.
Hear that, Ryan? We're going to send you some more stuff.
It just shows you what the craze around Pokemon at the moment.
Man, talk about the craze around Pokemon. Let's just touch on the PSA 10 moonbreon just for a second.
Sure.
Because the last one that I sold was in October. Actually sold it to a friend of the show that calls in, Maddie. Maddie collects. And sold it to him for $1,700, which was about $200 below market at that point. It was probably worth about $1,900. And since then, the most recent sale is $5,200 in the period of like what, two and a bit months. That is mental growth.
It is insane. What that
Insane growth. I think also last episode I said Evolving Skies booster boxes were $1,500, and they were, and now they're $2,100.
The set has just gone bananas. But
It's crazy.
I've got an update for you.
Give it to me.
Since that $5,200 sale, Dino, there's been a bigger one.
You're kidding me?
Golden auctions, 3,780 USD. A PSA 10 just sold for last week, which is 6,000 Australian dollars.
Oh my god!
Why? The moonbreon has well and truly. It isn't just to the moon; it's on the moon. It's going past the moon now.
It's time to talk about this because the Umbreon VMAX Alt Art from Evolving Skies, in my opinion, has cemented itself as the card of the modern generation. So I think in 10 years from now, people will talk about base set booster boxes, base set Charizards, Evolving Skies booster boxes, and the Moonbreon. They are going to be at the same level. Moonbreon is not going to be less than a base set Charizard. I think at some point it's going to end up somewhere up near the top.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it is... Pokemon was big in 1999 and 2000 when it came out. I feel like the community is much bigger now on a worldwide scale. So even while there's more Moonbreon PSA 10s, there is more demand for that card. And whilst I act surprised when you tell me those results, I'm not realistically like deep down. I'm like, well, that doesn't really surprise me because it's the card of the generation. That's for sure.
And we know from the set that obviously the prices on the boxes have gone through the roof, but the pull rates on it as well are so low. You know, like base set Charizards, you usually get 2 to 3 a case.
Yeah, I would say you would hit a base set Charizard 50% of the time if you opened a whole box.
Yeah,
you are not going to hit a Moonbreon 50% of the time if you opened a box. Yep. Basically, a base set Charizard is 1 in 2 base boxes. A Moonbreon is not.
No.
1 in 2 Evolving Skies boxes.
I think it's like 1 in every 5 cases.
Which is insane.
Because the Rayquaza gets placed in one. Sometimes you get like the Glaceon, the Sylveon.
I got one of those Rayquazas the other day. Shout out to my boy Asif from PCA Mart. I jumped in one of his hit boxes that he does. I grabbed 2 spots out of 100 spots and I hit the PSA 10 Rayquaza.
Man, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
When you sent through the screenshot of you getting that, I was like, he finally got his Ray.
Yeah.
But you didn't pay $2,000 or $2,500.
$200.
That's awesome. That's so good.
I was so pumped.
How was that not our icebreaker? That was like
I know. No, I just totally forgot about it till now.
Instead, we just like focused on how shit the Steelers were, which was awesome. But
shout out to Johnny Strayer though, because he loves it when we talk NFL. Yeah. I was chatting to him about it the other day. We were both hoping for a Lions come up, but yeah, they got done by the Commanders. So
too good.
Yeah,
too good. But yeah, that's our golden sales for the week, Dino.
Well, that's good because we're going to jump into Pokemon because there is a lot to talk about.
We spoke pretty in depth last episode about prismatic evolutions.
What?
Prismatic evolutions and what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The launch has come and gone now. We're going to deep dive a little bit on it because we suggested that this was going to be the worst side of the hobby. We suggested that this set was going to bring out the worst in people. And for the most part, it has.
Yeah.
It has been, it will be a set release we'll never forget.
Firstly, let's talk about the set, right? The actual set itself, beautiful cards. They reprinted some really good playable cards into that set. The product itself is beautiful. What they've released so far. So we've only had ETBs, binder collections, poster collections, and the tech stick blisters.
The 3 packs. Yep.
So there's still plenty more product to come. The surprise boxes are coming, and they look amazing. But the product itself is a beautiful, beautiful product. Pokemon have nailed it. It's probably the best looking ETB I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, can definitely agree with that. The Eevee SIRs, I was a little bit hesitant around the rainbow borders, just like I was in the last set.
Yep.
And then I've seen a few of them in hand, and I'm like, oh, these actually look phenomenal.
It's interesting because I was always a fan of the rainbow hypers in Sword and Shield at the start. A lot of people weren't. But when I sort of came back in around Champions Path and chasing and Vivid Voltage and chasing the Hyperchew and the Hyperzard, the rainbows, I've always really liked them. So was it Stellar Crown? They reintroduced the rainbow borders with the Terrapagos.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked it. There was people that didn't. They thought it was a bit, a bit meh because it's a rainbow border. But I saw it and I was like, no. I think this is the right direction. Like this is gonna age well. And I like to think I was right because like you said, the evolution SARs or SIRs with the rainbow borders absolutely pop. They look phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And I love that, like when you're opening the packs, like on a live stream, you can do a little peek. And, like with Surging Sparks and like with Prismatic Evolutions, you see that rainbow border, you're like, yes, we're on. Put the pack back together and slow roll it. And you're hitting something. Like, I like that. It was like when they changed from yellow borders to silver borders to try and, so you wouldn't know necessarily if you had a hit at the back. I didn't like that. I liked when you were able to peek the yellow borders and you'd see some silver shiny at the back. You're like, all right, sick, there's a hit in here. So then you can hype it up and you can get around it. It's coming. Like, you're going to be surprised either way because when you open the pack, you know what I mean? But yeah, the set's been good. The set's been good.
In terms of the excitement of actually opening the packs, there is that aspect of those top, 8 cards, those evolutions look so good that I'm like, I want to collect them all. Unfortunately, they're a bit expensive for that. But there is like legitimate excitement. I opened about 20 packs of the set.
Yep.
And I sat there and I was like, oh, this is actually so fun. So fun. And it was like I was saying earlier around like the negative.
Yeah.
As a collector, I would have loved the opportunity to open way more than what I did to experience that.
Well, that's the thing though, right? The release is over, but the release of product is not over. So you will have more opportunities as per everybody else. I opened one ETB for myself, so 9 packs. And then when we did the midnight launch on Whatnot, we opened 100 packs. And I feel like the pull rates for a holiday set are on par with every other holiday set. People are so quick to forget that there's no booster boxes, right? And they're the only product that Pokemon released that have seeded hits. ETBs do not have seeded hits. So you can buy an ETB from any set and pull sweet FA. Do people not remember Hidden Fates? Do people not remember Champion's Path? Do you not remember how hard those pull rates were? Like, there were holiday sets as well. It was the same thing. This is no different. And the release of Prismatic Evolutions draws a lot of similarities to the release of Hidden Fates. Just a popular set. Yeah. It's hard to get.
I'm going to draw back on something you said in the previous episode around the accessibility to product, though, influences that. So we don't remember Hidden Fates because we weren't paying secondary prices of $250 an ETB.
Incorrect. Do you remember Hidden Fates tins?
The Gyarados, Raichu, and Charizard.
Remember when we had the same issue with those? Places dropped those. People bought them and scalped them and sold them. Like, that happened. That's what I mean. See, even you forgot. No, people forget.
I'm going to challenge you again on that because that was a year after Hidden Fates release. Though that was the next release of product. So in 12 months' time, that's what those tins were. You could I picked up 2 cases of Hidden Fates ETBs for about $150 each a year after release.
Yeah.
And then
I would still argue that the demand and the market this time around is bigger than it was.
Yeah, for sure.
When Hidden Fates released. What was that? That was 2019, wasn't it?
Earlier? Or maybe.
No, I reckon it's 2019.
Yeah, we'll check that.
Just before COVID, right? And that was when the first boom happened. So, and that actually is a good shout, I guess. The original release was before the first boom happened. So you're right. It was more plausible, more available. Then the 12 months later, when they redid the tins, that was when everybody wanted them. Yep. And you found yourself in the same position that we're sort of in now with Prismatic Evolutions. But the reality is the product's out there.
Yeah, it is.
I keep seeing on Facebook, like people just go, oh, check your local Kmarts or Targets. People popping in there and picking up a binder collection here and there.
They're all there. There's going to be more product coming for sure. How was your release day? Talk me through your experience of some of the things that you saw and even some of the things you saw in the store, because I know we spoke about the store was going to go down the path of ensuring that everyone got products and not selling sealed.
The store did a great job. So I wasn't there on midnight. Because I was on Whatnot streaming at midnight. But what we did was break down product into packs, and we sold bundles of like 1 Prismatic and 1 Terrestrial Festival together. And then you could buy, I think it was up to 5 of those bundles. But that was dependent on how many people showed up. So you had a lot of people call the store and basically say, will you have anything left on Friday? Because I'm not going to come at midnight because it's going to be too chaotic. So many people thought it was going to be too chaotic that they didn't come, which meant that the 70 odd people that did come actually had a really good night, were able to buy as many bundles as they wanted. And by the end of the night, we actually just started selling them binder and poster collection sealed for whatever they wanted to do with it. So everybody that did support us and came to that event, 1, had a really good time, 2, got to open a lot of product, and 3, were actually able to buy what they wanted to buy, bar ETBs, because that was the one SKU we had like none of, bar ETBs, and had a phenomenal experience. It was kind of humbling in a way, because it just showed that the real ones that showed up and behaved in the right manner actually received what they wanted to receive. So yeah, there was no negative experience. I think the guys said there was like maybe one person there that sort of like, was annoyed that they could only get like a bundle of 5. So they bought their bundle of 5 and then left. And then like 20 minutes later, it's like, all right, who wants more bundles? Yeah. And then who wants sealed product? So, it was a really good positive release. The Friday though, afterwards, like, oh man, the phone was ringing off the hook all day. Have you got any? Have you got any? Have you got any? Have you got any? No. But that morning I took myself to my local Big W, lined up out the front with maybe 15 other people. I was first in line. Thank you. Got there nice and early. And I was able to go in there and just buy myself 1 of each product, because us as a business, we sold all of our product to our consumers because our allocation was so tight. We didn't keep any for ourselves. We wanted to make sure what we got as a business went to our customers. And then if we wanted anything, we opened the shop later that morning so that we could go, like everybody else, to big box retailers who get a bulk of the product anyway and try and get some for ourselves. And I was able to grab just 1 of each product. So 1 ETB, 1 blister, 1 binder, 1 poster. Open the ETB, and I've still got the other stuff, which I'll probably just put in a box for Harry one day, because I know there's more product. I know it'll be available. It's never going to be, Prismatic Evolutions is never going to be a set that sits on a shelf. Just like Evolving Skies is now a set that will never just sit on a shelf, or like, it's just not going to happen. It's just because it's a good set. Pokemon have come out and said they're going to print more. That's fine. They've done that before, but it's a good set. It's always going to be a high demand set. So you are always going to, 1, pay over market, or 2, struggle to find it. That's just reality. Just get a grip. This is the real world. Like, that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
How was your experience?
It was my experience ended up being pretty good. I just want to go back a step, because you spoke about midnight launch, and I have been to many of the midnight launches on previous sets, and I know the experience there for those people is always really positive, because the amount of like giveaways and stuff that happen as well. Like people go, you rock up, you get raffle tickets into sealed Japanese booster boxes and the slabs and all these things. And I heard the story of a 9-year-old who won a Japanese booster box before midnight.
One of our locals. Man.
Yeah, and he was running around screaming, celebrating.
He could not believe it. He came up to the boys and he's like, "Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really? Like, you don't have to give me this. Give me something else." We're like, no. You've won this whole booster box.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he loved it.
It's so cool. And it's really disappointing to hear that person that left, that sense of entitlement that person had.
Entitlement. That is a big word. Bold letters, entitlement. God, I'm going to talk about that.
Because the next day also, I went and visited Kmart, went and visited a few stores, was able to pick up some product for myself and picked up some product for friends as well.
Yeah.
But we got to Kmart. It was an hour before open, and there probably would have been, similar to you, probably 15 people in line.
Yep.
Everyone was like, "Yep, we're all going to grab 1 of each product." Like, there'll be plenty. This is Chadstone Kmart, like one of the biggest Kmarts in Melbourne,
the biggest shopping centre in Victoria.
Everyone was lined up, nice and like easy. It was like doors open. We all start to walk in. This one guy runs in past everyone, literally hands out, and just grabs like 8 products of each. Man, I bit his head off. Yeah. I bit his head off. I started like, there was no kids there, so I didn't feel bad. But I went right up to him, and I'm like, "You entitled piece of shit. How dare you Everyone's been lining up here. Everyone's civil, and you run straight ahead. And he was getting all defensive. And I'm like, put your shit down. Because Kmart, I'm going to have a crack at Kmart, Chadston here.
Yeah.
They had no control.
Yeah.
They didn't have, they knew there was a line, but there was no order. And this guy ended up making him give up some of his product to other people. Because I'm like, you just got here. And like, I'm telling you, it's the first time that in the hobby I've been like...
That would make my blood boil.
I was so
Especially
angry.
when everybody was civil initially. Because let me compare that to my experience at Big W. There was a line of us and the center security guard, I actually met him, he's a really nice guy. He came and sort of added a bit of order to the situation. He didn't specifically say, line up, walk in civilly. But because he was there, everybody kind of did. And some people tried to kind of creep around the line. And I'm not sure how it really formed sort of behind me because I didn't really pay attention. I just walked right behind him. He walked us in a queue basically up to the counter. And then everybody lined up behind the counter. And Big W said you get one of each SKU max per person. And that is it. So, you know, that's, that was far more order than it sounds like what you went through.
Yeah, there was
nobody was running.
There was no security guard.
And I would have turned up if somebody did, I'll tell you what.
Oh, man, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I really wasn't happy because everything that's gone on with this set, everything with release and people and prices like that, I just went, nah, that's not okay. And I wish I could name and shame that person because I just don't give a But
you don't know who he is.
But I don't know who he is, but I can tell you I ripped his head off in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It was like
it's just shitty behavior, man. Like we're all going through the same thing.
Yeah.
If you can get your hands on an ETB, especially on the release day, you should be sharing the love. And then if you want to spend the rest of the next 3 weeks scouring Kmart's because you've got nothing better to do with your life, then go ahead and be my guest. But on release day, we're all there for the same reason. We're all enjoying the hobby. And these big retailers need to step up to the plate as well and play their part. Otherwise, give the allocation to stores like mine that will do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because it's just BS.
Yeah.
It's BS that these bigger retailers can throw their money around and think it's good for the hobby. So distribution and Pokemon need to wisen up to that and you know go like who buys all the product when nobody wants the sets? The local card shops. Because if we don't, we won't get the allocation for the big sets. So we need a bit more support from the higher ups to make sure that we can get everybody in the hobby to enjoy you know, what it is. Like people shouldn't be lining up at Kmart and Target on release day. They should be able to line up at all their local card shops and know that they're going to have enough product to support them. Because then they can sit in the shop and open the product with like-minded collectors.
Yep.
You know, it's just BS.
As a store owner, you should be able to buy some of the product of a new set. You
Yeah.
couldn't.
No.
You couldn't do that.
No.
As a collector, I shouldn't have to get up before work and run around to a Kmart just to secure some of my products.
No, that's it. You think somebody that owns like a clothing store goes and buys something off a competitor so that they can have some of it for themselves?
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough? Like,
And like the response to that might be, oh, well, get your pre-orders in early. Well, you know how many bots are out there and stuff now.
pre-orders now are like near impossible, man. There's Discords that are set up with like notifications so like people can go buy them. There's Discords and Discord bots set up that actually just go and buy stuff like automatically. Like I don't something will pop up on the website. Like Big W, I think, did something at midnight like on the Thursday night. And within 30 seconds they were sold out. Like it is near impossible to go on there as a human being and buy something in 30 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. In this market, not a chance. Target sold out, in 12 seconds.
They shouldn't put that stuff online because they're big. Those big box stores are everywhere, right? So it should be in store only, and it should be limited per person. It's really not that hard. I don't understand why if that part of it exists.
Yeah,
you know, it's just lazy and dollar signs to those bigger companies. I think the buck sort of goes back to you know, like just distribution in Pokemon in general. Like they should set some parameters on how these things should be handled. Because if it comes from the top, then you know it'll stick.
Yeah. I want to share another experience that I had on release day is when I went to Kmart. I went past EB Games and I saw a gentleman that had 5 cases of ETBs.
Yeah.
And my first thought was like, you piece. And then I was like, hang on a minute. if this person's got 5 cases of ETBs, he's obviously ordered these ages ago.
Yeah.
So I went up to him. I was like, hey, man, good luck with the hits. He's like, thanks. Yeah, I'm going to open a few cases and I'm going to sell some on kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I was like, good luck kind of thing. Like, the product's hot. When did you order? And he's like, I ordered the day that they dropped pre-releases. I ordered 5 cases. And I was like, our anger shouldn't be towards that guy.
No.
Because he was excited to buy the set.
Yep.
And just because he got his allocation and I had to scrummage for 1 ETB, I could have ordered it on release day.
It's an interesting point too, because we put up 50 ETBs for pre-orders for Prismatic Evolutions. And that was a while ago. It was when we first obviously, had put our order in for the set. And we had it up for 11 days.
Yeah.
Took 11 days to sell 50 ETBs. Once after the set announced, I could have put those up and they'd be gone in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So you're right. People that get on early pre-orders and are able to buy that much, my problem isn't with those people. I don't even have a problem with scalpers per se, because there's nothing wrong with buying a product and on-selling it. That is how everybody makes money in this industry. That is how it happens, right? That's exactly how it happens. The problem is the amount of product people have access to do that thing, which is what I'm saying. The issue isn't necessarily the person, because if they can only buy one, they're only going to be able to buy one.
Yeah.
If they can buy 10, 20, 30 or 40, then whoever's allowing them to do that is the problem, not the person. So it really starts at the top down. It's even like you see all these white knights on Facebook getting antsy at people selling ETBs for $170, $200, blah, 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 blah. And it was really funny. I saw one on Facebook yesterday. Somebody had commented basically that. And then somebody looked at their marketplace profile and you could see that they'd recently sold like a Celebrations UPC for like $500, which isn't market price. And it's probably more than what they paid for it, right? So they've made money on that product, whether it be in a week or a year, it doesn't matter. They did not sell that product for what they paid for it, but they were getting at somebody because they're not selling an ETB for $100, which is what they paid for it. They're selling it for an increased market price. And I also heard a YouTube, so like, people are just so entitled. It was really funny too. Another guy, PokeRev on YouTube, I was watching one of his videos and he was talking about how, or maybe it was Rudy, I don't know, I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about how customers would go into shops like last year and basically pull up your phone and go, look, Target is selling this for this booster box for $89 and you're selling it for $110. Can you price match that? This is the market price. So you should pay, I want to pay the market price. I don't want to pay RRP. I want to pay the market price. So, the shop owner will go, all right, fine. I'll sell it to you for market price. And now people are going in and going into the shop and being like, no, now you need to sell it at RRP because the market price is now higher than RRP. They don't want to pay market price anymore. Now they want to pay RRP. So basically any retailer or local card shop is expected to lose money if the set's not hot or lose money if the set is hot. If that's your mentality, wake up. Hit yourself in the head with a brick. Wake up. Like that just doesn't make sense. You're going to kill your own hobby by trying to get product cheap no matter what happens. It just doesn't make sense. You either pay RRP or you pay market in a big market or a bad market. You don't get to get the best of both worlds. It's just this entitled sense of not everybody in the hobby, but people within the hobby. It blows my mind, man. It blows my mind, the lack of common sense. It's just insane. Come at me in the comments if that's you. Like, I don't care. It's just so stupid.
You see it with like some recent sets, for example, is like Shrouded Fable and Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Right. 2 very weak sets in terms of like card value in there and hit rates. And you go, well, Shrouded Fable's a holiday set and it's 9 AUD a pack. Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, but it's shit and there's no hits, like $7. Or Pokemon Go, I'll pay $455. That's AUD. You're like, well, it doesn't work like that. Like Crown Zenith and all these other Fusion Strike, when they come out, they're $7 or $6, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like it has to be consistent across the board. I think it's a really good shout, actually, like talking about like people just looking after their own back pocket when it suits them.
Yeah, that's it. All the time. I get Prismatic just came out. It's a new set. I personally would love for it to more be readily available. But at the same time, like, it's not. Live in the real world. Getting on the internet and being a keyboard warrior ain't going to get you nowhere. It ain't going to get you no product. It's not going to get you what you want. You know what I mean? Like there will be more product. Like there's people happily paying 150 to one. I would pay $150 for a prismatic ETB, to be honest. I got no problem with that because I know that it's going to be a hot in demand set. I know that it's literally worth that. Like the promo itself sells for like $40 out of the ETB, which brings your spend back down to 110, just above market. Then you still get to open the product or enjoy the product or hold on to the product. It's more just the entitlements. What gets me is people want everything below market when the market's not hot. Then they want everything at RRP when the market value's above RRP. It just doesn't make any sense. You literally want everybody that supplies you with your hobby for you to able to actually open the product. You want those people to lose money every time, so their business shut down, and then you can't even buy the product anyway. Like, think about it.
Yeah.
Actually think about it.
I saw, I had a case of someone who bought a few cases of ETBs because they got in the pre-order early, and they put online to sell it. And the market value was what, $1,900 for a case of ETBs.
Yeah.
And I saw the comment thread; it was 100 comments deep, and I sat there reading the comments, and I was like, "This person bought these before the set, before we knew that it was going to be short print run and it was going to be staggered out over the year.
Yep.
Before we knew what the prices were going to do, they were like, I want three cases." For a few days there, I turned off social media because I just couldn't handle the card chats, the hobbies, because the negativity around it was just so intense. And anyone who wanted to sell any product that was prismatic was instantly just destroyed.
But so many of these people were selling. The product was actually selling as well, because there's people out there that understand it. There's people out there that get it. They go, nah, you know what? It's a hot set. This is just the secondary market at the moment. It is what it is. You don't have to buy off the secondary market either, right? Just keep going to your Kmarts, wait for the next pre-order, whatever you need to do. But it's the entitlement, bro. It is unfathomable, the entitlement of people within this hobby. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Keyword.
I think we should probably talk a bit about what the prices are doing on the set, because
take it away.
We've mentioned the set itself and actually how beautiful it is. We've talked about our experience and people's reaction to the set. I think it's time to kind of touch on some of the prices of just where things are at. So sealed cases of the Pokemon Center ETBs. So you get 4 ETBs in a case, going for about $1,900 to $2,000, which is in line with the standard ETB, 10 ETBs. The Pokemon Center ETBs
popping off.
Look phenomenal.
Yeah.
They look phenomenal.
They're 10-pack ETBs, right? Or do you get 11?
4. You get 4 in the ETB.
No, but I mean in the Pokemon Center ETB, you usually get 2 more packs. So it must be 11 packs, or is it 10 packs? I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you get more packs in a Pokemon Center ETB, and you get the Pokemon Center stamp on the promo.
Yeah, I knew that was there. I didn't know, but that's probably the one piece of prismatic that I'm really interested to, in a few months' time. I don't mind whether it goes up from 450 per to 600.
Yeah.
But it's one that I'm like, I think I'd love that in my collection as a long-term
for sure
kind of hold for that one.
Pokemon Center ETBs have you can go on TCG Player eBay and have a look. They're probably the best ROI of any product. Based on just how quickly they sort of shoot up, because they are very limited and they are direct from Pokemon and they are unique. So yeah, they're if you're a collector or an investor, that's what I'd be looking into or lean into for sure.
Yeah, 100%. The SIRs, the evolutions, Umbreon at the moment selling from anywhere between 2,300 to $3,000 AUD on that card. The Sunbreon, is it nicer than the Moonbreon? I think personally it's a nicer looking card. Do we think it's
it's the new shiny toy. It's not nicer.
You don't think it's a nicer card?
No, I think it's a beautiful card in its own right. I think that whole set from Prismatic are beautiful in their own right. I think long term, I still think alternate arts compared to these illustration rares and the way they sort of look. I think, like I said, the Moonbreon's a card of a generation. You could argue different Charizard artworks are better than the base set artwork, but are they really? No, they're not.
Fair enough.
They're not.
The rest of the set is going from anywhere between $400 to $900 each. So it puts the master set at about 7,000 AUD.
Yeah.
If you were to get all of them. The one thing I find really interesting is after Umbreon, I'd kind of expect Eevee to be the kind of next highest.
Yeah.
And Eevee's the cheapest out of all of them.
Expect either Eevee or Espeon, but it's always Sylveon.
Sylveon.
It was like that in Evolving Skies, man. The Sylveon VMAX Ultart is the next most expensive evolution.
Yeah. And Sylveon, Leafeon, those ones are going up for around 900 AD.
Yeah.
Whereas your Vaporeon, Flareon, Jolteon are in the middle, around 500-600.
Yep.
You can pick up an Eevee for $350-400 at the moment, which just blows my mind because we've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
The Eevee was going to be the face of Pokemon until Pikachu pipped it right at the last minute.
Nah, it wasn't meant to be Eevee.
Oh, it was meant to be.
It was meant to be Jigglypuff or Clefairy or something.
Oh, yeah, it was too.
It was one of those two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. But Eevee's still like super popular.
Yeah.
I just find it weird that it's so much cheaper than the other ones.
Yeah, well, I think, and what I really want is that fruitcake Eevee from Terrastal Festival, because that's a beautiful card. That's one that I actually want to just put in my collection. I've pulled a bunch of them for other people, but I don't have one myself. Because in the English version, in Prismatic, it's going to be a promo card.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a bummer.
I saw you pulled 2 of them within the space of about 10 packs.
Yeah,
and I was
literally.
that was crazy.
And then I pulled a Leafeon SIR from Prismatic. It was crazy. It was great. That midnight stream was great.
The one thing I want to add as well is I really like, and we probably should have spoken about this before when we're talking about the set, but the Pokeball Master Ball in English, actually amazing.
Yeah.
Like
the texture, the full card texture. So people don't realize the hollow in the texture also extends into the art box.
Yeah.
Different to a normal reverse hollow. So it looks phenomenal. The cards look amazing.
And there's, I'm seeing Umbreon Pokeballs sell for $70.
Oh, I sold one for 40, I think. On
40?
Whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen sales up on eBay as high as 70.
Master Ball's still up there. It's like 700 to 1200. Something like that. It's pretty crazy.
Mental. Is there anything else you want to touch on Prismatic before we move on?
I think people just need to take a deep breath for the next 12 months and chill out and remember this is still a hobby. And yes, there's going to be a product that's hard to get. Yes, there's going to be people specifically scalping the product. There will also be collectors like you and I that were just able to secure more and don't necessarily need it. So they're going to on-sell it for market value, which makes sense. Everybody's going to do that. If you were in their shoes, you would do the same thing. Do not tell me you are a white knight and you would sell it for the same price you bought it for. That is BS. It is 2025. There's a cost of living crisis. Everybody needs to make money. So don't lie to me. All right? So I think everybody just needs to chill out. Enjoy the hobby. Pokemon understands the demand is increasing. They are going to print more, but it will still be high demand. We have beautiful sets coming out this year, starting with Prismatic, into Journey Together, into Team Rocket. Then we go back to Mega Pokemon. Then we've got a Black and White Nova set. It's going to be fun, so have fun. Don't sit there and sook and whinge and cry about the hobby. Enjoy what you can of the hobby. Enjoy other people enjoying the hobby. You know what I mean? Like if I can't open sets or cards, then I will watch somebody else do it because that's still enjoyable. I'm still enjoying the hobby. Pick up a pack where I can. Open an ETB where I can. It's not the end of the world. People just need to chill out, bro.
Well said. Well said. Should
we talk about PokeRev?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about PokeRev because this was interesting. PokeRev did a video about prismatic evolutions and have a feeling about that video, whichever way you may. But some of the comments in the comments section just almost killed me. I was just like, I can't believe that I'm in a hobby that these people are in as well.
Yeah.
Like some of it was just insane. So do you want to hit us with a couple of comments? For those of you that haven't seen it, I can't remember the video title, but we're going to...
The title is The Pokemon Card Hobby is in Serious Trouble.
There you go. We'll actually link his video down below in the description. But yeah, give us some of the comments or give us some context on the video.
I will. So let's firstly take a step back outside of this video. PokeRev has been a Pokemon content creator for full time. He quit his job. He jumped in with both feet. He's been opening boxes and doing live streams and creating content for so long. He honestly, like, I get a little bit defensive because he's one of the YouTubers that I watch a lot of content of. And he dropped a video which went absolutely viral. Over 500,000 views on it. And
he's propped up the hobby when it was running low. Like he doesn't come in and out when the market dips and woes. No. For the last 2 years when the market's been in a slump, he posted video every single day.
yeah,
Like this guy he's a good guy. He is a pillar of our whole community. And to see what happened to him in the comments in this video, just my God, I was angry.
yeah, we're gonna talk through a few of these just because, again, he's jumped in full time on this. He's given so much,
Yeah.
and you're taking this one isolated set. So this comment here, PokeRev, Pokemon card hobby is in trouble. Also PokeRev, watch me open 10 booster boxes in search of the legendary Pokemon. Come on, seriously, he's opening product for every set.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just gone out and got boxes from this set. This is his full-time gig. This is what he does.
This is God, man.
He is one of the top content creators in the world. He has a link to Pokemon. Of course he's going to get sight. He's promoting all sets. That is just...
Here we go. Entitlement, right? PokeRev is out there doing this so that people can enjoy the hobby together. But the entitlement that people feel like they deserve the product that he's opening, or that they should have that and he shouldn't have that. Like, God, man, 2025, dude. What's wrong with this world, brother?
This reminds me of when Leonardo DiCaprio and other celebrities yell at us for driving and flying while they're out chartering private jets. God damn it, man. Like,
oh my God, bro.
A guy going live and opening 100 packs, because he usually does
Pokemon cards, dude, is not climate change, you pencil. Yeah. Sharpen up, dude.
He usually sits there and does pack openings till he hits like a master set. Didn't have that for Prismatic.
I've watched PokeRev get absolutely rinsed and hosed for like 2-3 years, right? Like he always, even when he opened Prismatic, he was still getting hosed. Like people are just mad at him because he had some product to open and they didn't. But he also opened a ton of Shrouded Fable that nobody cares about, right? Like what he does hasn't changed. It's the entitlement and the attitude of people within the market that has changed, and it's disgusting.
Oh, man.
What else you got?
To be frank, content creators like yourself play a big part in this because you'll concentrate on the value of the cards, and other said sealed products sell the idea of cards as investments. Also, as the value of the dollar decreases, investing in physical products that are limited in supply makes the Pokemon problem even worse.
Well, take that up with Pokemon, pal, not PokeRev. You said it yourself.
Let's stop buying PokeRev packs as well. These influencers selling mystery packs are a part of the problem too. Like, is this just a witch hunt? That's
what it would have turned into. It takes one white knight to drop a comment and then everybody else to just jump on the bandwagon because they're too scared to do it themselves. So they wait for somebody else to do it. Then they all jump on the bandwagon. It's just, man, it's so disappointing.
You are literally live right now opening a bunch of boosters of the Prismatic packs and not even looking at the cards, just skimming through packs until you pull cards worth money, not even appreciating the cards.
If you watched the first video, he did that. Did you watch the first video? No, you jumped in on this one in a witch hunt like everybody else.
What if you look?
He went live the day after, right, and sold booster packs in I think 4-pack bundles at $4.99 or $3.99 per pack, so $4 which is RRP. And he went through he was live for 6 hours or something, or it was a really long time, and opening packs for people, but everybody jumped at him first, and then he would have already been planning to do that the next day because you can't just get that product within 24 hours, right? So he would have known that he was going to do that, but everybody jumped on him the day before. It's just, again, man, entitlement. You're entitled to nothing.
You do realize you caused this, right? You can go back to every video of pack opening with you putting prices on hits, lol. Like what? Because it's what people want to see.
People you want to know the value. You're the ones that ask. There's people out there that ask to go, oh, how much is that worth? How much is that worth? Yes, I agree, because in the shop sometimes kids will open packs and the first thing they ask is, what is the value of it? And that's just the world we live in now. So, get with the program. Unfortunately, there is a monetary value attributed to Pokemon cards, but that's because it is a collectible. Collectibles are collectibles because they grow and grow in value. That is what a collectible is. I mean, yes, you can just collect them and enjoy them. And there are collectibles out there that have no value, such as, I don't know, toothbrushes, maybe. I don't know. Is a vintage toothbrush collector? I don't know. But like Pokemon cards, it is a collectible. There is going to be value asset like attached to that. And I do agree. I'm not the biggest fan that's the first thing that people want to know, but unfortunately, it's what the majority want to know. So I'm not mad about him for doing that, or anybody else. Like everybody else does it. What's the guy that does the should I open it or should I keep it sealed? Deep Pocket Monster. You watch those videos, it like, it always tells you how much money he's making or losing because that's what people want to know. And that's like the most watched short Pokemon content like reel on social media at the moment.
Yeah, so it's not actually him, it's the consumer.
It is
the consumer of the content that's pushing that.
It is.
I'm going to finish with one comment here, Dino, because it's the comment that stands out to me as the most common sense.
Yeah.
Stay patient, y'all. Same thing happened in 2021, and it will eventually stop. Take this time to save your money and take care of yourself. Don't let some greedy people ruin this hobby. Everything will work out when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I'm going to go on two sides of that. There are greedy people out there that are intentionally scalping, but the issue, whilst it may be them with their intent, the issue is also that they are able to do that. If resellers or wholesalers or distributors or whatever looked after the distribution of that product and set certain limits, then that wouldn't be an issue. And then I guess the other side of that is all the haters and the white knights out there. You are the ones that are, just as bad as the scalpers because you're showing the ugly side of the hobby more so than the scalpers are. If you don't buy off a scalper or leave a scalper alone or whatever, then they're going to keep dropping their prices. Everybody keeps saying this, but nobody will do it. And then you drop 100 negative comments on a scalper's post, someone's going to go in there and buy it. Right? Like, so, it's going to be a big year, 2025, and there's going to be a lot of hot takes, I can tell you. For sure. It's going to be an interesting one. But overall, I love Prismatic Evolutions. I love it. I think it's a great set. I think it's good fun. Looking forward to getting some more product in as they release it over the year, and hopefully enjoying some more with my son and some friends and with our customer base as well. I think it's going to be a really good set.
They've definitely turned it up, haven't they? They started with like Obsidian Flames and Paldean Evolved, which, mind you, they're going at the moment. But as far as card stock goes,
they're all going at the moment.
They're all going, but they've really turned it up now because Journey Together also looks phenomenal. Ooh. And that's 28th of March, I think, releases.
Yeah, well, I think Battle Partners, the Japanese counterpart, is just dropped yesterday.
Yeah, that's just come out. So
and market price $200 a box for a Japanese booster box on release. Crazy. I think it'll come down. It always does. But again, beautiful set. We see the return of trainer Pokemon. So you've got Ends, Lilies in there. I believe there might be a Brock. I think I heard that. I read that somewhere. So there's some pretty crazy stuff happening with the coming sets, and we're going to cover it all. It's going to be a heavy year of Pokemon news, I dare say, on our podcast because that's what everybody's talking about. That's what they want to know. But I think we can probably actually before we park it, we really need to talk about that Mew,
the Chinese Mew.
Yeah,
1,510 copies.
Yep.
The basis of it is actually really cool.
Yeah.
So only released in China.
Yep.
You have to do, there's a whole bunch of different activities.
So you need to complete 15 activities at a minimum of 3 tournament venues by December 15th of 2025. So this card's not even coming out this year, right? That includes gym battles and city tournaments. Then they can register, they register through the Pokemon Card Member Program. From March through December, 151 winners will be selected on the 15th of each month. So that's how you get that number of 1,510 copies, because I guess for 10 months, they're going to pick 151 winners, which is so cool. I love that they're doing that, because what is Mew's number in the Pokedex?
151.
That's correct. So it's going to be one of the most rarest modern cards that they've ever released. They're really pushing hard in China. So here's something else to note too, right? If you achieve what you need to achieve, you go into a lottery each month as well. So you're not guaranteed to get that card. You're going to have to go into a lottery every month to potentially get that card. So this is going to be a big card. It's going to be an expensive card. It's not English. It's not Japanese. It is Chinese, but people like rare items. The artwork is beautiful, as you can probably see on screen. So you know, it's gonna be it's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. Pokemon are obviously working hard trying to break into the Chinese market with a lot of different exclusives that they've been doing. But this one, when I saw it and I read about it, I was like, whoa.
Where does the market open on it? Where in the first 151 that get allocated
has to be a $5,000 plus card.
I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna say it's 15. 15,000 opens the market. Think about how many people collect all around the world. There's only 15.
I guess I was being optimistic.
Yeah, I think 15,000 is what it opens at.
It's a beautiful card. People are gonna want it. I would if I ever had one come through, I'm gonna keep it. Like, it's cool, man. It's cool.
So we need to set someone up in China for the next 9 months so they can go in the ballot, try and win it for us.
China will be like, what are all these visa applications from Western countries for? Why are so many people coming over here for the next couple of months? What's going on? Yeah. Everybody's trying to get this Mew card. They're just like, what is happening? So yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy that that's happening, right? We talk about what would happen if Pokemon ever dropped a set and did like serialized cards or something like that. This is as close to something like that as we're going to get. Probably the rarest, not the rarest promo, because there are rarer, shorter print promos that exist, but the rarest promo that has been dropped in recent history for Pokemon. So it's going to be something that people are going to talk about. We're going to be talking about it for a while. We'll have to be covering it because, yeah, it's a big card.
Yeah, it was interesting to learn that the 151 set in Chinese, it's dropping alongside that. So that set is currently the most recent set there, whereas we had it middle of last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, their set drops are a little bit different.
Yeah, well, because they haven't been up to date with everything. Like, they're really pushing. So they're actually merging certain sets together and releasing them in China, so that they can try and catch up. And I guess at some point they'll probably, you know, Japan will get it when they usually get it, the English market will get it when they get it, and then China will probably be either the same time or just after that.
Yeah.
You know?
And you mentioned them briefly before, but those other exclusives, some of those Pikachu cards.
Oh, yeah.
We need to try to get our hands on some of those.
Yeah, let's not talk about that because we need to look in it first. Everybody starts chasing them. And I'm like, no, I want one.
Yeah.
Because we all know Pikachu is the GOAT. Pikachu is the GOAT, or Rayquaza is the GOAT, but Pikachu is better than Charizard.
I was going to say, what a callback there to episode 2. Episode 1.
Was it episode 1? It was episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah. Before we move on from Pokemon, I want to talk a little bit about TCG Pocket. So
okay, cool.
There's some news dropping at the moment. We've got our new expansion that drops on the 30th. So it's just gone live, time of recording in a few days, but it's called Space Time Smackdown. Heavily based around Gen 5. So your Chimchar, Turtwig, Piplup starters, Paldean, Dialga are the pack arts for it. It looks awesome.
Hell yeah.
It looks awesome. This game here, this is the third set release now. I'm still opening packs daily. It's still doing phenomenal. It's I've actually got one of the biggest Japanese YouTubers, Hajime. He's been spending the daily limit, which is 120 USD. That's the daily.
I love that they actually have a daily limit though.
Yeah, so
like kudos, Pokemon, well done.
They've put a daily limit on how much you can spend per day, and every day since release, he's spent 120 USD.
Yep.
He's also doing a lot of content on it as well. It's really interesting actually because our algorithm and our YouTube of the Western world, like you don't get any of those creators.
Nah.
So when I was looking into it, I was like, oh, he's like almost like a bit of a Japanese Mr. Beast with his videos that he does.
Yeah, okay, that's cool.
And he's like the biggest thing in Japan. But yeah, he's been going absolutely ham on this product. But trading also launches on the 29th. So we
can't wait to trade my absolute rubbish for other rubbish because I haven't pulled anything on there. I haven't even opened a pack on there in like a month.
Oh, that's so bad. I
don't have notifications set and I just forget. Like I saw you finish the 4 immersive cards the other night. Yeah. Last night.
Yep. I got all 4.
Did you get anything special for that?
You get like heaps of points and pack opening points and stuff.
Wow. And
the satisfaction that I've got all 4 video cards now. So
cool.
yeah. I'm excited to trade, fill that out, which is awesome.
Have you finished any of the base set or the Mythical Island set?
Nah, I'm still ages away. Mythical Island has
Loser.
been brutal to me. Yeah.
They're all brutal to me, man. I haven't pulled one video card yet.
Pleb.
Yep.
Pleb.
That's why I open packs for other people, because I hit cards for them. I never pull anything for myself. I just buy singles now.
That's true. That's true. I've seen that. I can witness it firsthand. Let's talk a little bit about Dragon Fusion World. Now, I've opened about 8 to 10 boxes.
You've been on the train lately, like your Tuesday night whatnot streams. People are frothing it.
Yeah, I've been opening a lot of FBO 4 at the moment.
Yep.
Which people are buying the cards and they go, "Oh, that looks awesome. That looks sick." Then they get the cards and they message again and say, "Holy, these look
in hand,
unreal."
Bandai make good products, man.
And it is it's exciting to announce that on Feb 14th, we've got set number 5, which is New Adventure.
Yep.
It coincides with the 1-year anniversary.
Beautiful.
Which is crazy because I feel like we were just talking about Fusion World not that long ago.
Yeah.
The 2 secret rares are Son Goku and a Frieza.
Yep.
And it's also the second last set that drops before we have the Dragon Ball 40th anniversary.
Whoa.
40.
Whoa.
40. So that's coming up in June. So the set looks unreal. I've becoming more and more affiliated with Dragon Ball. The more I open, the more singles I kind of get my hands on. I'm like, yeah, this is really sick. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention to anyone out there. Because FBO 1 to 4 are still like, as far as price wise, still
accessible. Yeah, well, they reprinted FBO 1. It was very hard to get that initially. The box is shot to like $400 or $500, as they do with market demand. That's just the way it is. And then Bandai, doing what Bandai do, reprinted the absolute pants out of it and brought it back down, which is great. Dragon Ball is one of those ones that's always going to have a following no matter what. So yeah, it's good to see that people are just enjoying the hobby, as many in Pokemon should try to do. Just enjoy the hobby, guys. It's not that hard. Can I talk about Lorcana now?
Yes.
Amazing. Lorcana, the peacekeeper of the world in TCGs. They do such a good job, Ravensburger, in printing the product and releasing the product. It is mostly readily available. Obviously, Chapter 1 being the base set, also with a big chase card, is always expensive. But that's okay, because the new set... I'm probably going to mess it up, but it's like Arkeezy's Island releases on March 7th. That is set 7, I think. Set 7, I feel like it is. So that's exciting. More exciting, though, is by the time you're watching this, last weekend, I would have just played in the first big tournament for Lorcana here in Australia at Marvel Stadium, of all places. Hopefully they'll have us out in the middle of the pitch. I don't think so. It'll be in a different room. But
put you in the goal square.
Yeah, it would have been fun out there. So super excited for that. Looking forward to reporting back on that in the next episode. But yeah, Lorcana is a good, safe space. A lot of people having a lot of fun. Beautiful cards. Very nostalgic. Really, really, really good TCG. If you're looking for something else to potentially pick up, while Pokemon is, spiraling your life out of control because you can't get any of it, then go and enjoy Disney Lorcana on the side. Your kids will love it. You'll love it. I promise you. Cards are beautiful. There's some good chase cards in there, a bit of value. The game's amazingly fun to play. So, that's the other thing. Expand your hobby if one portion of it is a little unattainable or you're not enjoying it right now. There's nothing wrong with that, because Pokemon is always going to be there. Doesn't matter what it is. Like base set boxes. Yeah, they might cost $28,000 right now, but you can still get them. All right. It ain't going anywhere. You're never not going to be able to buy it. You're just going to have to go with the flow of the market. So, yeah. I don't want to get stuck back into the prismatic chat. It's taking it out of me, man. It's taking it out of me. But that's pretty much what. Is that it? Oh, no, we've got, we're edging closer to Collect Fest, which is exciting. We've got a few more announcements coming soon. You guys are aware that we're doing a on-stage box break with Gary Hayes, King Pokemon, our good friend of the show. G'day, Gary. Can't wait to see you again, my friend. We're working on a few other big things. We will release more info around the box break as we move into Feb, March. So stay tuned for that. There will only be 36 packs. So, yeah, if you're thinking about it, shoot us a DM on Instagram or something. We're happy to take expressions of interest early on. And then, we'll announce more around that. But we're planning some pretty big stuff with some other guests as well. It's going to be a hell of a show. It's going to be fun. And, we'll let you guys know because we're not sure yet. But we might be in Sydney and Brisbane too. I don't know.
Fingers crossed.
See what happens.
Great to see
what happens. But no, that was an action-packed set of news today. There's a lot to cover in there. So I think we should maybe lighten the mood as we wrap up another beautiful episode of the Hobby Podcast and head over to the Hobby Heroes. Got 4 callers today. Haven't heard them yet. Excited to. It could be, I don't know. I'm glad that people are taking on board what I said last episode and getting around it. This platform is yours as much as it is ours, especially with what is happening in the hobby this year and the hot takes I'm going to be giving you like the one today. If you don't like it or you want to have a chat about it, like call us up. I'm going to play it. So, I
think we had another seven messages that we've had to bump to next week. So people have answered the call from last episode, which is great. So it's going to be a good year getting everybody involved. So here we go. Let's have caller 1.
G'day guys, Hayden here. Spoken to you boys at Luna Cards. Love the store and love the podcast. Just had a question about the future of Pokemon. So 2025, as you guys have said, it's going to be a massive year for Pokemon. And then we've got the 30th anniversary carrying us over into 2026. That'll be huge. It seems fine on paper, but with stuff like prismatic evolutions getting, 1-10% allocations, it's been abysmal. And EB Games, needing to spread pre-orders across, up until May. I'm just wondering how you guys are feeling about, the Australian consumer, and what that might look like moving forward if you feel as though we're going to be copping the short end of the stick. Now, we have been for a while, but just wanted to, hear your opinion. Cheers, boys.
Hayden, absolute legend. I know exactly who that is. First time caller, long time fan. Have a good chat with him when he comes in the store. So thank you, brother, for calling up. Really appreciate it. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head at the end there, is we've always copped the short end of the stick. And that's America is a 360 million person country, like 22 million. All right. Like we're a drop in the ocean. We probably get allocated what we should per capita. Like that's just a fact. I think patience and a sense, and people need to drop the entitlement, and then the community and the hobby will be fine. I think it's going to be a year where we're going to be talking about this stuff all year. There's no doubt. But I think in the long run, the hobby will be fine. We've been through it before. This time is probably a little bit different. I feel like the original bull market steered a lot more towards vintage as opposed to modern. But they printed a lot less vintage than they do modern. So, whilst Pokemon don't have an exact written rule in terms of reprint, it's usually a 2-year cycle that they'd stop printing something. But I think very much through the course of the next 12 to 18 months, they will just print what they need to print.
Yeah, I think I really like what you said in terms of like foresight of looking at 30th anniversary as well, because we know it's going to be tough to get your hands on product. So I think you got to really do your research and collect smartly. So, for example, prismatic, love the Vaporeon SIR. Maybe don't go buy product and just wait for one to pop up and buy that. Or I know that in the Team Rocket set, I want to collect that. I'm going to skip this and wait for that, prepare for, pre-orders and whatnot. Give myself the best opportunity to enjoy that set. So we're in a massive Pokemon bubble at the moment, and it will burst at some stage. It's not going to be this year. There's just no.
I think it carries through till we hit the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you've got to be smart, and you've got to recognize that. Yeah, you're not going to get 10 cases of everything. Yeah, but pick and
nor
choose.
do you need 10 cases of anything. Anybody.
Unless you're trying to master set it.
Yeah, I suppose. That's the other thing too, though, right? Even winding it back to all the first Scarlet and Violet sets, so many people would come into the store and be like, oh, no, I'm not collecting that one. I'm just going to do a master set on this one. And people need to have that same mentality, even though everything's hot right now. You need to have that same mentality as things move forward. Journey Together looks beautiful. Do I am I really that interested in it? Not really. There's a Lily's Clefairy that I like. And like you said, I like to open a bit of product here and there for myself just to say I did, so I have an experience and I can talk on it. Not pretending I did something. I actually did it. But yeah, there'll be a couple of cards that I'll buy from that. I know, unless they absolutely dunce it and mess it up, but I know I grew up in the era of, WotC and Team Rocket. I love that. That's what I care about. I don't even really care about the 30th anniversary. Celebrations did nothing for me. Generations was actually more my vibe because that kind of felt, I liked that a bit better, the way that set was, whereas Celebrations was like a reprint with a Pikachu on it and a shit holo foil. I didn't like that. So, I don't know if what 30th anniversary has yet. I'm not really looking into that myself because the only thing that really interests me in Pokemon right now is going to be what this Team Rocket, the Glory of Team Rocket set looks like, because that's just what I want. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And then looking at, I know that they have trademarked some mega sets that they're going to be doing. And one of the best mega Pokemon out there is Mega Rayquaza. So that is what I'm excited about. Again, Searching Sparks didn't do anything for me. It was fun to open and people love it and great. Prismatic Evolutions, again, there is no cards in this set that you will see in my personal collection because I don't really care about it. Like it's a popular set and people love it. Journey Together is going to be the same thing for me. It's going to be Team Rocket for me. So I've already got that kind of mentality and foresight, whereas everybody else feels like they need everything. Yeah. And you don't necessarily need everything.
Yeah. I think that just to build on
that's what FOMO is. That's the epitome, the fear of missing out. You're only missing out on what you think you want. You can't tell me that everybody out there wants everything because my experience is not that. Yeah. My experience from the customer base is not everybody is collecting every set. Not everybody's getting every hit card from every set. Yes, there will be people out there that do that, but they usually know what they're doing in a sense.
I think the build on that as well is, we talk about put away the tiny violins and control your controllables. Like, that Hidden Fates PSA 10 that's in your collection, but you really want the Team Rocket set. Go out, get your pre-orders in, go and trade that for a few cases of,
or sell it,
booster
whatever
boxes.
You need to do, yeah.
Just control your controllables because there is the opportunity to get stock out there. And
that's it. Like I said, I got one of each prismatic product. I was able to open an ETB, so I say that I could. I've opened the packs. I did through the store. I streamed 100 packs on whatnot, so I've opened plenty of the product, But I've got no interest in holding a big sealed allocation of that set. I have no interest in doing that set. I have no interest in having an Umbreon or an Espeon. It's just, And I think other people need to sort of adopt a similar mentality, assuming that that's what they want, though, right? Like I'm not saying not everybody out there doesn't want everything because there's collectors that obviously collect and must set everything, and that's fine. I just think people need to take a breath and just chill out. Like the whole world these days is so fast with the power of the internet and the keyboard and posting your opinion somewhere. Then half the time it's probably not even your opinion. You just jump on the train with somebody else, I think if everybody just relaxes, takes it a little bit slow, there will be enough product. You'll be able to enjoy sets. Yeah. It's just going to be a tumultuous time through the hobby. And that's okay. We've been here before. It'll happen again. It's ebbs and flows, mate. Every single market does the same thing. S&P 500's go up and down. Nasdaq's, Bitcoin, all that stuff. It happens, man. I'm in crypto chats and I see how those people talk. It's the same thing as what's going on in the hobby right now. So,
thanks for calling in, Hayden.
Ripper call, Hayden. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, legends. Matty here. Just wanted to hear your thoughts surrounding all the pre-order drama going on at the moment in the Pokemon scene. It's almost impossible to get your hands on anything at the moment. It looks like everyone's buying up all the pre-orders and then listing at double or triple the price. I know a lot of Discords have popped up with bot monitors and stuff on all the main websites, even hitting all the smaller LGSs at the moment. Just really wanted to hear a discussion around that. Keep up the good work, guys.
Love you, Matty. I love you. Love your work. Interesting couple of things I think we've already touched on, but it's great to sort of, I guess at the end of the app, kind of round it out. Pre-orders are an issue. I don't think everybody is pre-ordering and flipping it and selling it for double, but yes, there are people that are doing that, and that's just the hobby now. That's just going to be the way it moves forward. If you miss your pre-orders, then expect to pay market price. If you get your pre-orders, great. If you be patient and wait 3 to 6 months, they'll print more and you can get more pre-orders and get more product then. That is the honest, common sense way to approach it. If you don't approach it that way, you're always just going to be mad and pissed off, and you're going to live a really rough 12 months of just like hating life because, you know. And then what was the second part of that question?
Just our thoughts on that.
Nah, he said something else after pre-orders. God damn it, Kearns. You meant to listen.
I was.
Hey, legends, Matty here. Just wanted to hear your thoughts surrounding all the pre-order drama going on at the moment in the Pokemon scene. It's almost impossible to get your hands on anything
flipping
at the moment.
Nah,
it looks like everyone's buying up all the pre-orders and then listing at double or triple the price.
This bit.
I know a lot of Discords have popped up with bot monitors.
So the Discords, that's the other part. It has happened. There is a few out there. There are some that are free, and then there's some that are hidden behind a paywall as well, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like the same thing. Like you got to like pay to be in a Discord where you then get notifications to be able to potentially buy stuff. So there's a couple of interesting takes there. I think those things, you know, they have their place in any kind of hobby or community. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. I got no problem with them. I'm not in them, but I don't, you know, whatever. I don't
Mate,
care.
we live in a world with ChatGTP now.
Yeah,
everything is automated.
It's normalized.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is a problem. If that's what you're asking, I don't think that is a problem in the hobby, because, like I said, you know, the problem is obviously bots, like not notification bots of sales, but bots that people use to buy stuff online. But again, you know, it could be. Yeah, it could be avoided if you just sell in store, I guess, and not online, or you sell a certain amount online. I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those things where every dog has its day anyway. So you just got to kind of weather the storm. I think for the most part, yeah, like, you know, even if you could pre-order a case, like I think people are still only going to open a couple and then sell a few anyway. Like to try and like people try to, you know, counterbalance their cost in the hobby. Like, you know, we used to do that when we would stream. You'd ideally buy a case, hopefully sell enough of it on the secondary market to cover the cost of the stuff that you want to rip. But again, that was different because we were buying at a wholesale level and selling at RRP, like at the market price. No, at the recommended retail price, not even at the market price. We did sell some stuff at market price, you know, as time goes on, but that's just normality. So, yeah, I think the pre-order train, like we discussed earlier, you know, you're either going to be on it or you're going to miss it, and that's going to happen in multiple things. You might miss pre-orders for Journey Together, but then you get some for Rocket or blah 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 blah. You know, everybody's on top of that. Yes, Discords are popping up everywhere with bots. You know.
Yeah, hedge your bets as well. It's easier said than done for someone who's quite extroverted, but like create relationships, create friendships, start networking, because you'll find products that will pop up. We did that with Prismatic. We went to a game store that opened at 10 o'clock and we got there at 9:35 and we were the second people in line and we were able to get some products. Like create relationships. Extend your network out, because you're not always going to win online. You're just not. You're not quicker than the bots.
No, but that's like everything as well. Like, you know, that's just not Pokemon. That's just online shopping in general. Like you take that to, it's like sneakers actually did it really well. Sneakers don't really drop online, or they may have, but I remember when sneakers became a big thing in the US, the queues outside shops were enormous, which then they go in there and they can buy one pair at this size. They can't go in there and buy 10 pairs, right? Like that kind of eliminates the bot cycle. But I understand that, you know, Australia's a big country. We all sort of live on the edge and not in the middle. So if you live in the middle, where are you going to get it? You need to get it online, right? Like I understand that. But yeah, it's two hot topics that I think we'll be discussing for the next 12 months.
Hey guys, long time listener, first time caller. Love the pod, love the whatnot streams, love what you guys are doing. Just want to ask, with the prismatic evolutions, it's absolute chaos even trying to get an ETB or even the triple blisters in Kmart and Target, etc. Just wondering if someone had the full set of like SIR evolutions, what would you guys pay for them? I mean, the market's like $7,000 to $8,000. You know, is it a hold? Is it a sell now? Is it the next Evolving Skies? You know, what are your guys' thoughts on it? Keep up the good work. Love it. Cheers.
Dan Harding coming through.
The big fell.
Appreciate it.
Love it.
Man, it's I love it, like the topical conversations we have, obviously, like our listeners are thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And we've covered prismatic a lot. 7 to 8 grand for the SIRs. If someone came to me and said, Kearnzy, you could have them for 5 grand, I'd probably take it. I'd take it at 5 grand for my collection. I don't think I could spend any more than that.
Well, we had a customer pull a God pack. It also included I think a Terrapagos SIR and the gold Pikachu from Prismatic. So it was 11 cards or 12 cards in total. And we sold that on our eBay for 8.5 grand for that customer.
Right.
That's a real sale that I've been involved in that I know exists. So if you take away the extra cards, it's probably 7.5 grand, maybe 7, depending on how much the Pikachu's actually worth. The gold hyper rare Pikachu from Prismatic. Call it 7 grand. That's probably what the actual street value of a God pack is right now. If they're all PSA 10s, it's going to be a whole different ballgame.
For sure.
You know what I mean? The first sequential PSA 10 set of those, I could see being like a $20,000 set. But that's because they're evolutions and they are hard to pull and they are beautiful cards and then they are all 10s and they are sequential. You know, there's a lot of factors in that.
Yep.
But yeah, I think the street value right now, in my experience, is about 7 grand for a full set of those SARs.
If I came to you with a full set, what would you pay 5?
I'm not buying them.
You're not buying them?
Nah.
You wouldn't buy them?
Nope.
So I offered them to you for 4 grand.
Nah.
You wouldn't buy them?
Nope.
3 grand.
2.5, I reckon.
Oh, 2.5.
This is coming from someone that has no interest in holding those cards.
Right. Long-term, biggest cards of the newest set.
Biggest cards in your opinion, not in mine.
Of the nicest cards. So
this is what I mean, right? This is what people don't understand. This is how FOMO is created. I don't care because everybody else cares about these cards in this set right now. Doesn't mean I'm going to tell myself that I care because I don't.
Right.
I don't want those cards in my collection. I can appreciate them. I like them. I don't value them what you do or somebody else does because I don't want them.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough.
Right? So I'm paying 2.5 grand for God packs, guys, if you want to sell them to me. All right? But I think they're worth 7 grand.
I'm paying 5. 5 is my number.
But do you understand? This is what I'm trying. This is the point I'm trying to get across to people. Is you know? There's Prismatic Evolutions is hot. It looks beautiful. It is fun to open.
For sure.
You can make money on it. It's going to be a great hold. This, that, and the other. But me personally, as a collector on my journey, I can enjoy it from afar or enjoy it in a mild, like, you know, just a little sample size. Because long term, I don't care. It's not my collection. It's not what I want. It doesn't fit what I'm doing. Like, you know, I'm not going to buy it because every other Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to buy it. Like, they love it. You know, it's just not, yeah. That's just how I feel about it, right? Like,
it's staying true to what you said. I like it. Me personally, love the cards.
Yeah.
I'd go 5 grand.
Yeah.
5 grand on it. That's what I would go for.
Yeah. I pulled a Leafeon SAR for someone in the midnight launch. It was a beautiful card. Loved it. You know, there's cards in my life when I pulled on stream and I've tried to buy them back, like the Gold Star that I pulled, the Groudon. Like one day that card will come back to me if he ever wants to sell it, just because I highly doubt I'll ever pull another Groudon Gold Star again. And Groudon and Kyogre are in the same legendary circle as my boy Rayquaza, so I got a soft spot for them, right? So something like that, yeah, totally. But like that Leafeon, I was happy to give it to that customer. Here you go, man. What a wicked card. Beautiful. Do whatever you want with it. Like, he's like, do you want to buy it? I'm like, absolutely not, bro. No interest in that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I really hope people can sort of just take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and continue to focus on their journey and what they want. Don't get sucked into the FOMO. Don't feel like you're entitled to something you're not, because you ain't. And yeah.
Great question, Dan. Great question.
That's a good one.
Thanks for calling in.
Come back and visit sometime. All right. Last one for today.
Hey, Hobby Pod. Just wondering, with this Pokemon boom at the moment, do you see it following other trends in other card games or other card franchises like sports, NBA, MLB, and maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic, or is it just the Pokemon at the moment? And how long do you think it's going to last?
Gabby. I was waiting for him to call in one day. That's a good question. It's funny though, like, I personally think Pokemon stands alone from the rest. It's on a pedestal. It's its own behemoth, its own beast. I think at moments it is bigger than sports cards. It's way bigger than Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Dragon Ball or anything else. And I think its market, its cycles, its collectors, and everything involved with it is completely set aside from anywhere else. I don't think any trends within any other game or any other trading card will ever impact or reflect what Pokemon does. Pokemon can do whatever they want to the market whenever they want, and it'll go in their favor. They can short print sets. They can throw EVs in Rayquazas or Charizards into sets and create hype. Like, we're living in it right now. Like, they can do whatever they want. So I rarely, almost never compare Pokemon to any other trend or trading card game. I do think that what happens in the world financial economic cycles definitely has something to do with what happens in trading cards, but Pokemon particularly, because it has a great financial track record of ROI, return on investment. So I would attribute more of that to what sort of Pokemon, what moves the needle on Pokemon than anything else.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of specific TCGs, I think you might have little micro like bull runs where there's a bit of excitement, like Dragon Ball, as we get closer to a 40th anniversary and things like that. But from the outside looking in, I don't see the likes of Lorcana, Flesh and Blood, even One Piece had its run. I don't see them reaching the levels that Pokemon has.
The only reason they might do that is when people get priced out of Pokemon and they move. Like I said before, I told people, if you're not having fun in Pokemon right now, move to Lorcana. Move some money over there. Go and enjoy that for a little while. Because that's kind of what happens with financial markets and crypto is as people start to get priced out, they look for the next best thing. They invest there and they kind of move up on the trend as well a little bit. Nothing like the big one. Nothing like Bitcoin or the S&P 500. Like, they don't move as big as the big dog does. But they might have, like you said, micro is probably a good example. A micro increase in where they sit purely because people are taking money from the main hobby or like the Pokemon and moving it to somewhere else because they can't get what they want in Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure. I think in terms of like the world stage that you spoke about, like crypto and shares and stuff like that, people moving out of that into maybe collectibles in the sports, that's probably more likely to go into things like the sports market.
Yeah.
Because we spoke about basketball selling. You'd never sell basketball cards outside of the season.
Yeah.
It's just like the absolute death zone. NFL is like really hot at the moment. We're in
but
playoffs
sports cards, you got to sell sports cards during the season.
During the season, for sure. A year, 2 years down the track, depending what happens with the share market, we might see a lot of collectible money coming into collectibles.
Yeah.
But even Pokemon at the moment, this is like way bigger than what 2021 was.
Yeah, it's different. It's different.
This is different big,
It's different.
So, yeah, my answer, my holistic answer is no, not yet, but not saying there's not the opportunity for it to in the future.
Just glad Gabe finally called in. Maybe he'll watch this episode.
Speak to the bloke almost every day. It only took him 23 episodes.
Oh, Gabby. Thanks for calling in, brother. Thank you for all 4 calls today. They're actually great questions. And we want to hear from you guys. All right. So down in the description, you'll see the SpeakPipe link. Click on it. Takes 2 seconds. You literally put your name in, record a message. See you later. Done. We'll put you on the show. That's it. That's all it takes. So yeah, make sure you get over and follow us on Instagram too at @the_hobby_pod. It's where we drop a lot of exclusive things. Where got some big things planned for the Instagram this year. And Kearns, I believe, before I close out the show, you have an announcement of our next giveaway.
Yeah, so really exciting. We're giving everyone the opportunity to enter in and win a prismatic ETB.
What?
Yeah. So
we're giving away prismatic evolution.
We've just spoken for the last hour and a half about how hard this product is. We want to give a little bit back. So conditions of entry are really simple. All you have to do is subscribe to the Hobby Podcast and comment and like on our PAX vlog video. That is the way you get your entries. If there is no comment and no like on that PAX vlog video,
which is the last video before this one,
entry does not count.
Yeah.
Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, we will run that giveaway. So,
which shouldn't be hard because our last 2 episodes exceeded 2,500 and 3,000 views. So there's a lot of you out there that have watched them that didn't subscribe. So, even get your grandma, get Nana Jan to subscribe, get them up there. Like, we're stoked because our analytics show that our viewer count and our rewatch rate is really, really high, even though our subscriber count is really, really low. But, we'd like to monetize this channel one day. So we need to get to at least 1,000. So 2,000 just sounds nice.
Yeah.
So the sooner we can if you get that there in like a week, then we'll give it away. Like we'll give it away straight away. So we want to give back, and we're going to do a bit more of that this year as well in terms of that. I'm going to do some things around the hobby heroes. Maybe every quarter, everybody that came in, we're going to put something together and draw a winner for the people that call in and support the show as well. So
for sure.
It's going to be a big year, 2025. We got a lot to announce.
And we also still have sponsorship slots available for 2025. So if you have
not
a business,
many, but there is some.
And if you would like to sponsor an episode, everything that we earn at the moment goes into the infrastructure, improving cameras, improving lights. Not sure if you've noticed, but
I send Kearnzy to get pedicures, manicures, fake tans, barbershop. That's where a lot of it goes. Keep our big boy pretty over there.
Yeah, I want enough money so I can get some veneers, get some super white, get the whites kicking.
I love it. But go check Instagram because that's where you'll see the post for that, just for more details. But please do like, comment, subscribe. We really hope you guys enjoyed the PAX vlog. Today's episode, we are taking a more of a hot take approach this year because it is that kind of market. It's not going to be rainbows and butterflies every episode. We're going to touch on the hot topics. But anything else from you, big guy? Nope. All right, that is Wheels Up, and we are out of here. We will see you on the next one.